Winning Blueprint presents. In the Lab. 5 minutes or less.
Had so much success with it in the past. I'm back with it again, the 5 minute or less series. Welcome. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. 5 minute or less series. This time, it's the scheduled release 5 minute or less series. Here with the Seattle Seahawks, got 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get started. So I look at the schedule, and the first thing I always look at, primetime games. How many do you have? Where are they at? What platforms are they on? I look at the Seattle Seahawks. This is a team ascending in the National Football League. You know they're going to be on primetime. It's just a question of how many. You look at their schedule, 4 primetime games for the Seattle Seahawks. And they're spread out over all the platforms. So you look at Thursday Night Football, Week 7 at Arizona. Divisional game, Cardinals are a tough out. Let's see what the Cardinals and the Seahawks will provide for us on Thursday Night Football. That should be a really good contest. You look at Sunday Night Football, Week 2, you're home for San Francisco. That's a big early season matchup. Didn't get any better than Sunday Night Football. And so that's a huge early season matchup. I hear you talking about you being the best team in the division, how this should be your division, how you stomped a mud hole in the San Francisco 49ers at home last year at the end of the year. Well, you want that respect? Respect is not given. It is earned. You want the respect? You want this division? You got to take it. Week 2, at home, early in the season, statement game. What are you going to do? You look at Week 8 at St. Louis. Monday Night Football. So you got to go to St. Louis. That's a tough place to play. The Rams are a very athletic team. You struggled with the Rams last year. They beat you in St. Louis last year, and they had you on the ropes at home at the end of the season. And so you struggle with the Rams. They get pressure on the quarterback. And so we're going to see what you do on Monday Night Football in St. Louis. You look at Week 13, you're home for New Orleans. That's a tough game. The Saints are a high-powered offense. They're getting their coach back in Sean Payton. That's going to be a lot of fun. Everyone remembers what it was like the last time the Saints were in Seattle. That was the Beastquake game. So that should be a lot of fun. They're going to relive that play over and over again. That's a play I don't mind watching over and over again. As that was a tremendous play on the part of Marshawn Lynch. That should be a lot of fun in Week 13. You look at divisional games. San Francisco, and they're the big team that sticks out because that's the team that you're going to have to battle for this division. Can't sleep on Arizona and St. Louis, but we all know San Francisco is the team that you're going to have to go head-to-head, toe-to-toe with if you want this division. Week 2, we just talked about that. That's a big-time Sunday night football game. We already know about that one. Week 14, away at San Francisco in Week 14. Going to have to do some damage on the road if you want to win this division. You look at St. Louis, Week 17. Great, you're at home. That's what you want. And you don't know what this division is going to come down to. It might come down to Week 17. It may come down to Week 17, you just needing to win that game to get in the postseason. Whatever the case may be, it's always good to know that you're at home in Week 17, and you are. Week 8, you're at St. Louis. We talked about that game. That is a Monday night matchup, so you already know what time it is. You know what you have to do. Go on the road and try to get one. Arizona, Week 16, you're at home. Week 7, you're at Arizona. And we talked about that. That's a Thursday night matchup. So each one of the teams in your division, you have them on primetime at some point in the season. One on Thursday, one on Sunday, one on Monday. So you play each one of the teams in your division on primetime. You look at anomalies. And for me, that's any scheduling quirk that sees you play 3 or more games at home or on the road in a row. You look at 3 out of 4 at home or on the road, or you look at 4 out of 5 at home or on the road as anomalies. That's what I call an anomaly. And for you, you have the rare 4 out of 5 anomaly, and it's on the road, so that's a toughie. That's a big stretch of football. Let's look at it. Week 4 at Houston. Week 5 at Indy. Week 7 at Arizona. Week 8 at St. Louis. That's some tough football. That's some tough sledding. You have to find a way to play damage control there. Get 2 out of those 4 road games. Get the 1 sandwiched in the middle at home. You'll come out of this thing 3-5. You'll take that. Hey, I'm greedy though. If you can get the first 1 or 2 of them, then you're playing with house money at that point. Then you can try and get greedy and get 3 out of 4 of these road games. Who knows? We'll see, but that's a tough stretch of football in the middle of your season. Got to be tough there and get wins on the road. You look at your bye week, week 12. That's a late bye, but you'll take it. I'd much rather have a late bye than an early bye. So week 12, pretty late, but you'll take it. That's a solid bye. You look at COTC games. And for me, COTC games are circle on the calendar games. And you've got two of them, and they're both against San Francisco. That's the team standing in your way of being NFC West champions. If you get home field advantage in the playoffs, there's no telling the damage you can do. But you got to go through the San Francisco 49ers if you want it. And those two games against the 49ers, to me, are huge games on your calendar. You look at timeout. And every team has a timeout on their schedule. And for me, the timeout here is 3 out of your 4 last games are divisional tilts. Last 2 are at home, and so that's a big part of your schedule. All right? 3 out of your 4 last games are divisional tilts. 2 of them are at home. So you got to find a way to take care of business within the division late in the season. And you're at home in 2 of them, so that's an added plus. But you got to take care of business in the division late in the season. And also, that serious away anomaly is huge. 4 out of 5, that's a serious stretch on your schedule. Going to have to find a way to weather the storm there. So that's going to do it for the Seattle Seahawks and their schedule release in 5 minutes or less.
5 minutes or less.